Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to Harry's Highlights. On this video, we're going to talk about the book Unstoppable Teams by Alden Mills. Now this is about understanding high performance teams and how they operate at such high levels with such high efficiency. So some of the things I want to talk about there is about the author basically was a Navy SEAL. And he wanted to write a book to understand how such an elite military group operated. Because he basically explained that with teams, it's basically a whole lot of different people with interconnecting relationships, how they all work together. So he wanted to really highlight, and some of the things that I want to highlight in this as well, is some of the philosophies like understanding the difference between teams and groups. Because a lot of people use the word team nowadays. You know, hey, let's team up, we'll go grab a coffee. Let's team up, we'll go do this one. And it's about understanding that there's a real difference between teams and groups. As a team, it's about working together selflessly. And a group is all about working, you can still do things selfishly. So a group is just like a bunch of people all doing their own thing, potentially just in a group, just working parallel versus interconnected. So one of the things he wants to talk about there and explain is that how he's come up with his basically an understanding and a simpler way to break things down of how high performance teams work together, how they achieve more, and why they achieve more. So one of the things the philosophy I want to talk about there is understanding about leading yourself is really the first step before leading a team. So you've got to be able to single things out down to your own individual process and understanding. So your individual way of doing things needs to be parented, managed, or led effectively. Because if you're not able to do things by yourself, it's hard to expect you to be able to do it in a team. So the way you're disciplined by yourself will translate to how you're on a team. The way you manage yourself, the way you handle situations, like for example stress management, that'll translate to how you handle it in a team. Basically, a team is basically an amplified version of yourself because you become one identity. You're all interconnected. So how each moving part handles certain things will just be amplified when it's put together in a team. And that's what the understanding of there is understanding that leading yourself is really the first step. The steps that come after that one will eventually lead you to working effectively in a team and performing at high levels. But if you don't have a thorough understanding, if you don't have the right systems in place, if you don't have the right management of yourself, when you put in a team, that's just going to be exaggerated and exacerbated. So what I want to talk about some of the philosophies there is the understanding about care-based leading. Now this is about not only looking after yourself, but also those around you. So looking at it from a perspective that you need to care about yourself just as much as you care about your teammates, with the same level of detail, the same level of energy, the same amount of effort. So care-based leading is about, if you wouldn't do that to yourself, don't do it or allow it to happen to someone else. Which in itself is quite a powerful message, and it really helps to understand the difference between a team and a group. Because when you have interconnected relationships, it's not about parallel. It's not about just what you do affects others just as much as it affects you. And the care-based leading, he basically talks about it in his acronym of CARE. So each letter has a different principle behind it. So the first one, the C, stands for connect. So connect is about building trust. You need to be able to trust other people on your team as well as yourself, that they are going to look after you just as much as you would look after them. And that same process or principle is about that you'd also look after yourself, because they're expecting you to look after yourself because you're going to perform. You're a moving part of the team. You're a piece of the puzzle that, if you only focus on others and not yourself, then when the time comes, you'll then let the team down. But if you only focus on yourself and not the team, also when the time comes, you'll let the team down. So it's about trusting one another is going to put in as much effort into themselves as they put into the team, and that they see it as one identity. And that you would give yourself the same level of attention that you give to the rest of the team. The second one there that talks about is the A in care is achieve. This is about setting direction. So not only setting direction for yourself, but setting direction for the team as well. So when I talked about leading yourself, and then setting that direction, how that flows together is about, that's self-management. that self-leadership, that setting the direction of what you want to achieve, where you want to go, how it's going to affect the team, how it all flows and interconnects and comes together. So there might be like, as a team, you have like a team leader who sets the direction, but you also need to set direction for yourself as well. There needs to be management of how you do certain routines, habits, all the parts of the bigger machine all fall down, all can be broken down into how you do things as well, because you're a bigger part of that bigger machine. The next one there is understanding, the next letter there in care is respect. Now this is about creating an environment for mutual contribution. So that means that no one should ever feel like their voice isn't heard. No one else should feel like they can't speak up, they can't speak about anything, they can't highlight anything that they're feeling or that they want to contribute to. It's about having an environment where everyone feels like they're going to be not judged by it. You know, that they're going to feel like, they never want them to say like, oh, I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to hurt someone's feelings, or like I felt like, I'm not qualified. It's about that, like any opinion you have is respected, and I want to hear it. Creating an environment where it's like everyone feels like no matter where they are in the team, their word is still worth something. The words that they wish to speak still hold value, and that. To do that requires respect. It requires that whether you're the team leader or whether the last person in the team, your contribution is respected and valued, and that everyone wants to hear it just as much as they want to hear the team leader speak. They want to hear you speak as well. So all that comes together to have this. And lastly is E, which is about empowering. Now this is about creating owners. So not only are you're a team of leaders. So you take leadership for yourself, you take leadership for the team, while also taking leadership from the team leader. That creates an environment of initiative, of contribution, of everyone always trying to strive for more, but also striving for more together. It's not about wanting to be the number one, it's about the whole team wanting to be the number one. That difference of creating owners means that not only do you own the success, you also own the failures as well. So it removes that blame, because all these people want to put their hand up and go like, I let the team down, that's on me, and here's what I'm going to do differently. I'm going to take ownership and do better because I want to do better for the team and for myself. That empowerment means that people don't sort of feel like ostracized or singled out when they do something wrong. They feel commemorated. They feel like, good on you for having the character to recognize that and put forward a solution. And that all comes together to have care-based leading. You care about yourself, you care about the team, and because of that, you then want to do more. You want to achieve more, you want to provide more. And all around, it's about why these high-performance teams perform so well at high levels, because they care about themselves as much as they care about the team. The other part of it, the other philosophy there, it's about overriding your fear to survive, so you can focus on your desire to thrive. Now this I thought was a really interesting philosophy, because it's really about understanding that there's so much of the time, a lot of our decisions come from a base of, to some degree, fear. Whether it be fear of failure, fear of not fitting in, fear of basically not being good enough. When you remove that, when you override that fear and you're there like, I'm going to give 100%, because I'm here for the team and myself. And I know that at the end of the day, the team will be my safety net. They will hold me up if I fall. It's about every time that, you make a mistake, you don't feel like I'm not good enough. It's that I gave it everything I had and I needed to do something different. I gave it everything I had in the wrong angle. I need to go everything I had in this angle. And that's how you focus on a desire to thrive, because you want to thrive together as a team. You want to thrive together, not just yourself, but the team as well. You want everybody to be the number one team, not just you being the number one. And also knowing that if you fall behind, that your team will turn around and go hey, we're going to help get you there. You lose that fear of how will I survive? How will I get through this? It's no, I'm going to override that. My team will always be there to help me to do more, get more done. And then when you do that, when you start to care more about yourself and the team, your team then dares to do more, because they then feel like, no matter what happens, my team is always going to be there to have my back. So they'll take bigger initiatives. They'll put more on the line to achieve more. They'll focus on winning and not focus on losing. on how to not lose. So to quickly summarize, Unstoppable Teams is all about understanding how high-performing teams perform at high levels and how anybody can reach that high level and become a high-performing team. It's about teams versus groups, the difference between selfishness and selflessness. A group is just a group of people that seem to be all together working parallel. A team is about interconnected personal relationships. The understanding that leading yourself is the first step before leading a team. It's about care-based leading. You've got to care about yourself as much as you care about the people around you. That understanding that CARE acronym, that CONNECT is about building trust. The A is achieve and about setting direction. The R is respect and about creating an environment for mutual contribution. The E was about empowering and creating owners. And lastly is about overriding your fears to survive so you can start focusing on your desire to thrive. Now, if you can understand all this and embody all this you'll understand how to create your own unstoppable teams. So we'll be making a lot more of these videos for this training series to help you with your personal development goals. That's all for now though. So until next time, leave a comment below on what you like the most. I look forward to sharing more with you in the next episode of Harry's Highlights.